Yo, what's up guys? This is Andre Kenshin here, and today we're going to be doing my first commentary as we enter the second month of the year 2024 as a February. Yes, it's going to be a February including the February 29th as a leap day. It's going to be another such a year because leap day will be have a extra day causing the calendar will be not able to continue repeating calendar, and then will be a next year we will have a 11-year non-leap year in the calendar. So that means we're gonna have a continue like the inner side. Alright, as we enter the February, as look and update says January 30, 2024 in the bracket watch tonight. Top overall seed still the same as Purdue. First team out is Villanova, and last team in is the Boise State. Here's on the bubble. We got last four byes: Memphis, Texas, Providence, Texas A&M. Last four in: Nebraska, St. Paul, Colorado, and Boise State. First four out: Villanova, Cincinnati, Washington State, and Gonzaga. And the next four out: Oregon, Kansas State, Florida, and Butler. So here's the 68 team bracket. Let's check out those updates and the changes. Southern and NC Central is now in the new fields. The first four: Memphis, Baylor, and Auburn are falling down the 9, 5, and 4. Cornell is getting in the new field. They make it to the NCAA tournament. They make it to the Sweet 16. It was the 2010. That happened to Cinderella run. They knock out, I believe, Georgetown or Wisconsin. That was the Wisconsin, I believe. Or the Wisconsin was the Cornell. Hold on a second. I want to check. I got this. So they have Cornell make it to the NCAA tournament as the Cinderella run. That happened. That was the first round knockout tempo, and then knockout the second round against Wisconsin before it fell short against Kentucky. Grand Canyon is moved up to number 11. Kansas, Drexel, and Texas A&M falling to 3, 14, and 10. That happened. The Kansas lost to the Iowa State was the tight in the close. Northwestern and Marquette is moved up to 7 and 2. Move on the East. Another move up. A bunch of move up, except for two of them move down. They got South Carolina, TCU, San Diego State, Duke, Clemson, Alabama, Texas Tech, and St. Mary's are moving up to number 8, 9, 5, 4, 6, 3, 7, and 10. Are making a more of the more moving up. Richmond is in the new field. Colorado and St. Paul is moved down to first four. First four, it was very bad. It was a Cedar matchup right here. So the last four in, I thought Nebraska versus St. Paul was the matchup. Move on in the West. That was the last time Nebraska made it to the NCAA tournament. I believe it was the 2014 they make it to the tournament. They fell short against Baylor. In the West region, North Carolina is still the same as number 1. And unfortunately, that happened in North Carolina. They fell short to Georgia Tech. That means they falling to number 2 seed. That happened was tied in a close matchup. Green Bay is 4 down to first 4. Michigan State alongside has moved down to 8. Ole Miss and UC Irvine is back up the new field. Nebraska and Boise State is moved down to first 4. Iowa State, New Mexico, Texas is moved up to number 3, 7, and 10. Last time the New Mexico Lobos make it to the NCAA tournament, it was 10 years that happened make it to the tournament, was 2014, and the New Mexico are the highest seed. I never seen that before. And in 15th seed, it was Eastern Washington. In the South, we got South Dakota State and Utah alongside Dayton and Oklahoma is moving down to 16, 9, 5, and 6. Mississippi State, Indiana State, and Providence are moved up to 8, 11, and 10, and then Colgate back up. We're back in the new field. And I believe with Creighton, we're gonna have a tomorrow night against Butler, in this one. So we're continue as a Google Sheets right there, as a continual part of the Google Sheets right inside the tournament. So hope you enjoyed this video. I want to make a subscribe as we continue of NBA 2K12 simulation, and later they will have a Stanley Cup playoff first half predictions after the end of the first half. So hope you enjoyed this video and click the subscribe and hit the notification bell so don't miss it. So now let's get back in the video. Start things up in the Midwest. We got, hang on a second, I believe it was the wrong side. Nope. That happened in the East right there. Yep, it is in the East. So the first matchup in the Midwest, we got Purdue facing the winner of Southern or NC Central. I believe Purdue will win. St. John's versus Memphis. I have to go the Tigers will win. Baylor versus Cornell. I believe Baylor will win. Auburn will take out over Akron Zips. Utah State will take out over Grand Canyon. Kansas will pass over Drexel. And have Northwestern defeated over Texas A&M. And Marquette will pass over Quinnipiac. Next up in the second round, I have to go Purdue knock out Memphis. Baylor defeat Auburn was a tight and a close matchup. Kansas will defeat Utah State. And Marquette will defeat over Northwestern. Next up in the Sweet 16, I have to go Purdue will win, will pass over Baylor, and Marquette will win over Kansas. And then in the last spot of the Final Four of the Midwest, I have to go the Golden Eagles will upset over Purdue. Next up in the East region, we have Connecticut versus Eastern Kentucky, which I have to go Huskies will win. TCU and South Carolina, I have to go the TCU will win. San Diego State versus Richmond, I have to go the Aztecs will win. Duke will getting passed over Charlotte. The Crimson versus the winner of Nebraska or St. Hall. I have to go this one here. It's the first pro playing team that won, so I have to go I believe was the St. Hall will pass over Nebraska and they knock up Clemson. Alabama will win over High Point. Texas Tech versus St. Mary's. I have to go the Gills will win. And Wisconsin knock up Sam Houston State. Second round in the East, I have to go the Huskies will win past TCU. Blue Devils and Aztecs will go the Blue Devils will win. So I have to win here as the Aztecs are not able to make it to reach Sweet 16 spots. I have to go Blue Devils will win. Nebraska or St. Hall versus Alabama. I have to go the Clemson Tide will win. St. Mary's versus Wisconsin. And I'm not going to pull off and another upset as I'm gonna go St. Mary's. And earlier I saw that happened Wisconsin lose to Nebraska and an upset by 8 and they're losing by 8. Then Nebraska they won. So I have to go to St. Mary's will win. That means Wisconsin will upset. Sweet 16 in the East. I have to go the Huskies will win over Duke. And Alabama will pass over St. Mary's. In the final spot of the Final Four in the Elite 8 in the East, I have to go the Huskies will back to the Final Four. Move on to the South region. We got Houston versus South Dakota State. I have to go Houston will win. Utah will pass over Mississippi State. App State and Dayton. That's gonna upset here. I'm gonna upset App State. Will knock off Dayton. Illinois will win over Sanford. Oklahoma versus Indiana State. I have to go Oklahoma will win. Creighton and Morehead State. I hope Creighton will win easily victory tomorrow against Butler in the late. So I have to go to Creighton will win. Providence and Colorado State. I have to go Flares will win. And Tennessee will pass over Calgate. Move on to the second round as Houston will pass over Utah and Illinois will pass over App State. Creighton will destroy over Oklahoma, and I'm gonna upset there. I'm gonna go to Providence. Will surpass over Tennessee in an upset in the second round of the South. Another upset. Houston versus Illinois. I have to go. Houston will win or pass over Illinois. And the battle of a Big East team, Creighton versus Providence. I have to go. The Creighton will win. In the Final Four spot, I have to go. The Blue Jays will win and heading to the national championship. In the Final Four, sorry, in the final spot of the South region. And finally, in the West, we got North Carolina versus Green Bay or NC Central Connecticut. I have to fix grammar for the small. I have to use a big C letter C right here on the UC Irvine. So North Carolina versus Green Bay or Central Connecticut. Have to go. The Tar Heels will win. Spartans, the Michigan State will pass over Ole Miss. BYU versus McNeese State. I have to go. BYU will win. Kentucky will win over UC Irvine. Florida Atlantic will victory against the winner of Nebraska or Boise State. Iowa State will win over Vermont. Texas will knock off against New Mexico. And Arizona will win over Eastern Washington. In the second round in the West, I have to go. The Tar Heels will win over Michigan State. Kentucky will win over BYU. This is going to be a tough one. Iowa State will win over Florida Atlantic, and Arizona will pass over Texas. Next up in the Sweet 16 in the West, I have to go. The Tar Heels will win over Kentucky, and Arizona will knock off over Iowa State. In the Final Four spot in the West, I have to go. The Tar Heels will win. So now it's time for the Final Four. Our setup, we got Marquette versus North Carolina and UConn versus Creighton. They are another blue blood editions. Too many blue teams are reaching the Final Four. So the Final Four spot, I have to go. The Tar Heels will win over Marquette, and Creighton will knock off the Connecticut Huskies. In the national championship, North Carolina versus Creighton. They were met in 2012 NCAA tournament that North Carolina won. So once again, still gonna use my favorite team to win, and all Creighton win the national championship, and the total points by 9 will win. As now, boom, that's it for now. This is gonna be a first upload of the commentary with February. I did upload my first upload of February of the month that happened on NBA 2K12. Let me know subscribe to the video. Once again, you click of subscribe and hit the push the notifications turn on. And this is Andre Kenshin. See you next time, and continue. We have a second upload. We have a Stanley Cup first half predictions, and tomorrow we'll continue of the NBA simulation alongside the another bracketology update on February 3. We have a 1 day. So the NBA 2K12 will happen tomorrow night, Lakers versus Knicks. So stay tuned, and so long. Good night. I'm so sorry, I'm saying goodbye. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.